Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Broker. So not much on this on IMDb. Boxes are left out for people to anonymously drop off their unwanted babies. Sounds very morbid, you know, but 7.2 on IMDb. 10,253 people rated it so far. So I've heard some really good things about it. I'm hoping it's good. We'll see. I'll let you know. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're going to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Broker. We're at the 1 hour, 8 minute, and 59 second mark. So I probably could have waited a whole nother minute to check in. But anyway, over halfway through, it's a 2 hour and 9 minute movie. I don't know if I said that in the beginning. Interesting. Again, don't know much about it. I heard it was good. Probably on TikTok. Read the synopsis. Here's the breakdown of really what it is they did, these two guys create like a drop box, like you see it like a bank or a UPS, right, where you just open up the thing, drop your package in. Well, here they pull it and you place a baby in there. I thought this was pretty cute, and when they close it, like a little baby song starts playing. You know what I mean? Like a little, like a mobile kind of song. I thought that was pretty neat. But anyway, these two guys, essentially what they do, they take the baby, they care for the babies, and then they sell them. And they sell them to people who want to raise them. And they look for good people, you know, who really want to raise the children, not resell them or do anything like that. So it's very interesting. It's, you know, and of course there's the whole, and then because these mothers, for the most part, I think it's all mothers, they abandon them, right? They don't want their baby for whatever reason. And so rather than giving it up for adoption, they put it in this box. So, you know, very, very interesting. Just that alone to think about. You know, the mothers who may not want their baby now have an option, but these guys are doing it and they're making money off of it. So a lot of ethics involved and morals and stuff like that. But that's what the movie's about, right? So they say that, you know, and they put notes, the mothers will put notes and stuff like that and say they're going to come back and get them. And the stat the one guy gave, he goes, out of 40 mothers, one will come back. Well, it just so happens that the baby at the beginning of this, the mother comes back for the baby. But they're not giving her back. But she doesn't seem like she's really tied to the baby all that much. So there's something else going on that we don't know. She seems like she might be tangled up in something else. But she decides to join them on their trek to sell this baby. So like they have set up buyers, so they go and they try and do that. But what we're also seeing through this first half of the film is them building a little bit of a relationship. The two guys are like best friends. But they're starting to build a little bit of a relationship with her, although that hasn't completely happened yet. But they're getting to know one another. Behind all of this are two cops who are like trying to catch them selling the baby, and so it's them, you know, trying to go through all this. And then there's some backstory stuff, not backstory, but there's another side story that's kind of related, but we don't know just yet. So that's where we are. It's very interesting. I'm not sure what I was expecting. For some reason, I thought it was like a mind-bending type movie, but that's not the case. It's a drama, so we'll see where it goes from here. Maybe it does, maybe it gets crazy, but I'm intrigued. The hard part is reading the whole thing, but what are you going to do? All right, let's get back to it and see where it goes. Stick around. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Broker. And I have to say, you know, it's funny, I was thinking about this, I wasn't until the near end of the movie. I mentioned how, you know, it's an ethical or moral, it's also illegal. And I didn't even say that, you know, and they use the term human trafficking, because that's really kind of what they're doing. I just didn't have that perspective. I looked at it as, hey, these mothers don't want their children, and so they're going to give them to somebody else to sell them to a good home, right? I mean, that's just like adoption. It's just not, I guess, government run. And this is Korea, so I don't, know anything. But like in the United States, it's like, I don't know. It brings up a whole lot of different kinds of questions. Like, if I have a kid and I don't want to, shouldn't I be able to sell it if I want to? You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think you can. Or can I hire somebody to go ahead and sell? Not that I would do that, but you're thinking about that. It's like, really? Is it? I mean, besides the ethics, the morals, and all that stuff, it's not legal to just do that? I don't know. Anyway, so that's then, and then they talk about human trafficking, and I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. But so really, everything I told you, the group of them kind of all getting together. They also pick up another kid throughout the thing. The one of the two guys happened to grow up in an orphanage. They visit there, and they get a tag along, a stowaway. But it all creates this kind of small little family kind of element, if you will, but in a strange way, right? I mean, obviously it's not your traditional family. You have a mother who really wanted to give up her child for certain reasons that you'll come to find out, and cops are all on their trail, as you know. So, really good, thought-provoking movie. And it's hard to say anything about the acting, but I liked all the characters. Funny, maybe the mother is probably my least favorite, I would say. But I mean, everybody else, the two brokers, the kid, even the cops that they kind of, I kind of like their characters. So it's interesting. Definitely worth a watch. A little long, but didn't feel like it was that long. I mean, maybe at the end it felt like it was dragging on a little bit, but throughout the rest of it, it holds your attention. At least it did for me. Of course, when you have to read it, that kind of forces you to watch it. So, definitely recommend it. And that's all I'll say on that. But I will say, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Again, well, whatever. Spoiler alert. If you don't want to know any more about this movie, then turn me off. But if you've seen it already and want to hear, I thought it was very, very interesting about the detective at the end of all this. With the, how is that even legal? Like, how does she end up with the baby? You know what I mean? Like, really? That's, and then I thought to myself, is that the whole reason? Like, I think that's definitely now the whole reason she was so hell-bent on catching them, right? But how can she do that from a legal standpoint? I don't know. But very interesting there. And what's going on? Where is everybody? And who was the van who picked up Ji or whatever his name is? I guess that's probably the orphanage. And they probably picked him up. That's what I'm saying there. But we don't know what happened to the other two guys, the two brokers, right? I mean, I'm assuming the one went to prison, but what happened to and we know the other one kind of ran away, but I'm interested. I want to know. It's not all tied up in a nice bow for me on that piece. And then who was in the van at the end? So many questions. So that van wasn't the old van. It didn't seem like it was colored different, but the picture was in there. I had assumed that was the detective. She said, I thought she wrote a letter to the mother saying, hey, on the 15th of every month, I'm going to be here if you want to see your kid, right? That's basically. So the mother finally decides to go to this park. She's there running, and the van pulls out. Okay. Now the picture's there. And the picture's of the group. It's not of the detective. So is it just there to remember the group? Or was it one of the two brokers? So many questions. I'm so confused. I have no idea. So, or let me throw this theory out to you that was it Dong Soon, the boy she kind of liked, the guy she kind of liked. Is it him writing the letter to try and convince her to come see him? I don't believe that. That's weird. But there you go. A lot of questions there that I want answers to. So if you want them, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe I don't want to research it. So that's it. Longer review. If you stuck with me this long, I appreciate it. Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of these unanswered questions. Will there be Broker 2? No, just kidding. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.